Greetings, fellow viewers and colleagues, and welcome to this transmission in which I will dedicate, alongside with my fellow colleagues in the science team, for responding to a video on me made by the Erny clan. And stay tuned, fellow viewers, after you enjoy the intro.
Welcome back. In this video Dr.Coomer will be in charge of responding and refuting Erny's points made in his video. I will display to you fellow viewers each point he made, and then I will respond to them right away.
Let's go.
Boys, this is where the worst part comes. Prepare. The videos literally have two completely different topics. At least he puts different wording into his videos. Why are you trying to make it so he looks like he copied someone else? There's literally two other videos. They're not even from Vsauce or Tom Scott. Okay, so this is like the closest video he could have copied. One problem, it's not from Vsauce or Tom Scott. Here's another example of Sonic being a retard. Oh yes, accusing someone of copying other people. Great.
The video copying part does make sense, but it seems that Erny didn't get the idea. In the video I said he does copy video ideas from YouTubers like Tom Scott and Vsauce, which means not only them are concerned, there are many more, and why I chose these videos exactly. Despite some of them had totally different titles, it's simply because Dano got the whole writing of these videos recycled into shorts and posts them into his channel with the lowest effort, basically acting like a content farmer. You see, when doing scientific topics you got to understand what you're covering, so you will never fall into mistakes that will misinform your audience, and this generally takes both time and effort to do, from scripting to reading articles and studies to fully understand the topic. But Dano skips all of the steps mentioned earlier by simply watching a video from a popular science YouTuber and then repeats exactly what they said. The only difference here is the style of making videos. So the point of Dano copying videos from popular science YouTuber stands, and it's not a bold accusation.
Alright, this really pissed me off, cause I'm just gonna show you one video. Just one video. Alright, just one video. And this will prove him completely wrong. Enjoy. So not only does Sonic V2 completely lie about him being a soulless YouTuber, he doesn't even try to copy Vsauce. He actually derives inspiration from MatPat from Game Theory.
What does showing a video of Dano crying about MatPat leaving YouTube has to do with the argument I made? Erny confused the definition of being a soulless YouTuber or a YouTuber without personality with being soulless literally, which means a person without emotions. That's not what I said in the first place. When I said he doesn't have a personality, I mean this. Take a look at 99% of his shorts. They have practically the same tone of voice, same music, aka Attack of the Killer Queen from Deltarune Chapter 2. In fact, that soundtrack got engraved in my mind while making the video on Dano because it got so damn repetitive. The only difference is the topics that he covers on each video, and for the point of Dano saying that MatPat was his inspiration doesn't disapprove the point I made about copying Vsauce and other science YouTubers. Being an inspiration doesn't mean being a copycat. In fact, I'm going to prove my point even more. When Dano said MatPat was his inspiration, that means he was a huge fan of game theories, movie theories, and other shows that MatPat made. But guess what? MatPat didn't even have a sub-channel where he covered scientific topics, which means Dano wasn't even interested in that topic from the beginning, which leads us to conclude that Dano hoped on that topic after he saw an opportunity to make more views, which is fine. But he wasn't hip with the scientific field, and that made him rely so much on videos made by huge science YouTubers like the ones I mentioned in my video, so he can make scientific content, and that made him copy the general idea, script, and writing of the science YouTubers, so he can avoid committing mistakes and misinform his viewers. That is totally non-copied from.
They don't even look similar at all.
By the way, Dano explained that the Blue Mouse character aka Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was a huge inspiration of Mickey Mouse. He just didn't get the fame of Mickey Mouse. Still, we can consider Riggy as a copy of Mickey Mouse or Oswald the Rabbit.
Well, number one, he was warning his viewers to ignore them. Number two, he never knew the UTTP was this aggressive. We wouldn't have known how bad the UTTP was without him.
About the UTTP situation, Dano could have easily avoided giving attention to them by simply blocking their spam accounts on a regular basis, and that's it. No need for a whole short dedicated for the UTTP, and plus he even admits in his short that the second you reply or check their channels, they win. Which means that the UTTP actually won by simply getting a reaction from Dano himself, which made him make a video on them. And plus Erny claims in his video that nobody would know how bad the UTTP if Dano didn't make that video, which is totally wrong. There are plenty of videos made on the UTTP which contains more information about their history and what they do, or anything related to the group. Most of the people covering the UTTP this year are basically doing it only for views since it's becoming a relevant topic, but not for the sake of informing or spreading awareness to the public, and so they ignore showcasing more information about the UTTP and focus only on what they do nowadays, and how bad their actions are. And to prove more that Dano made a big mistake when he decided to make a short on the UTTP, he just removed that video completely, as you noticed, because he knew he just gave them what they wanted easily when he made that video on them. And so the only way left for him to correct that mistake is deleting the video and never talk about it again.
You know what most scientists do? They make a video, right, and it's dangerous. So they literally put a warning telling you to not do it. That's a literally... This guy's retarded.
Where don't you enjoy Dano's content?
You fucking retards!
What this has to do with the arguments I made anyways, LMAO, this is irrelevant to the take I discussed. If I put his point into the context, I would assume that he meant that Dano's video on the UTTP is like some sort of dangerous scientific experiment shown in a documentary with the big famous disclaimer, "Do not do this at home," which is a false analogy. Dano didn't even put a disclaimer warning his fans about the UTTP. The only thing he does is how to avoid interacting with them, and that's it. No disclaimer, no warnings, only a soft piece of advice that would never stop his fandom from giving attention to the UTTP accounts.
Hell, I really didn't even watch Dano until like a day ago, and he actually makes really good content. You should actually watch him.
I already saw a couple of videos of DannoDraws. They will only be great to a younger audience filled with kids who have an attention span of a goldfish, which is less than 1 minute.
You're already a PNG YouTuber! Look at yourself! You're not even a PNG YouTuber! You're already a PNG YouTuber!
Why mention that in the About section? This will just have a backward effect, which means the haters will tend to mention Dano with these names even more. It's like clearly showing one of your weak spots to your opponents. I see no point of doing that.
You're a JPEG YouTuber!
Chill out, bro. Still way better and cool than a cringe PNG tuber.
You're not even animated!
Chill the fuck out.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't claim that the Dr. Sonic channel is an animation channel.
I'm gonna say this, the animation style is very different. Like, Jellybean has her OC constantly on the screen, but Dano only has his OC like once or twice in the video. Just watch and you'll know what I mean.
Just take a look at the basic definition of a PNG tuber, which goes like this, and I quote, "A YouTube personality who uses stylized static images edited onto their videos as a substitute for a face cam." Source is Wiktionary, the free dictionary. Both the examples of Dano and Jellybean can be considered as PNG tubers according to the definition of a PNG tuber. Heck, if you want to use the JPEG YouTuber expression you made up earlier on me, it's fine if we just substitute the PNG part with JPEG. So just because Dano doesn't flash his OC constantly like Jellybean doesn't mean he's not a PNG tuber. And plus, why do you think a lot of people called him such? It's not a small percentage, hence why he mentioned it on his about section, lol. It's because it makes sense according to the definition itself.
Hell, Jellybean isn't even a bad YouTuber at all.
Pardon? Come again.
Jellybean isn't even a bad YouTuber at all.
Voy a la playa, había subido la marea.
Really, nigga? Really, nigga? Really, nigga?
He can't be considered a PNG tuber.
False. I just responded to that point earlier.
Hell, I watch a few of his shorts. He doesn't seem narcissistic or have a big ego, so shut up. He probably doesn't even know what the word ego means.
I do, and I used that word specifically because I showed in my bonus clip of the video I made on Dano how he tried to turn a Twitter ban of 24 hours into a poor flex attempt on his audience.
This bonus clip is useless, by the way.
I love how you just ignored that bonus clip because it does prove certainly that Dano is an egoistic flexer. Just watch this.
So, funny story, my Twitter account was locked for about a day because they thought I was sending threatening messages to someone. To be fair, I was, but okay, let me explain. My whole thing is peace, right? That's my channel's logo, and I talk about forgiveness and empathy a lot, and overall having peaceful resolutions to situations. I think it's a good thing to stand for. However, I'm 1/3 Italian, and while I was explaining my complicated views on pineapple on pizza, someone replied with this horrendous monster. This is M&M's and Kit Kats on cheese. Seriously, what is this? So I replied something along the lines of, my whole thing is peace, but I'm gonna remove a piece of someone's skull if I see them doing this again. And then I doubled down on it by saying that since I'm a 1/3 Italian and we kind of made pizza, I have the authority to say that this person needs to burn. Yeah, looking back, maybe I went too far.
He mentions in a short that has like 50 seconds that he has 1/3 Italian genes on his DNA 3 times just to justify that he made a death threat joke on some random dude who also jokingly posted an image of a pizza made with MMS that would disgust not only Italians but every human being on this planet. He could simply say it once or never mention it and his point would stand. But nope, he chose to annoy the viewers by constantly telling them he has 1/3 of Italian DNA. If that isn't an obvious flex attempt, then I don't know what it is.
Anyways, that's the end of this response video, and I hope you enjoyed it, fellow viewers, and I will see you soon in another one.